Hi guys, and welcome back to My Whatever. And in case you're new here, my name's Lady, and this is My Whatever, the place where I do whatever I feel like. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you a story. I actually have two stories. One of them is kind of a few weeks old, and the other one just happened yesterday. If you follow my Snapchat, or if you are a friend of mine who follows me on my personal Facebook page, you've already kind of heard the summarized version of the second story. So anyway, basically, what it's like living with my cats. I don't know about your cats, but my cats are something else. I have three of them, if you remember. I've got an old man named Dodger. He's like 13 years old, about that, 12, 13, something like that. I feel like doing the math. And then I have two kittens, Nora and Toland. They are still kittens. They haven't reached that year mark. However, I can't remember exactly how many months they are. Again, not doing that math right now, sorry. But anyway, so in this lovely abode of mine, I have a basement. And when it rains really, really hard, my basement floods. So, one night a few weeks ago, it was raining really, really hard. And I wake up in the middle of the night to a cat scratching at my bedroom door because my cats are huge pains and they won't leave me alone to sleep. So I shut the door and I shut them out of the room at night because I just can't handle it. So I wake up in the middle of the night and there's a scratching at my bedroom door, and I think it's Toland. Because Toland has, I do believe, separation anxiety. He doesn't really like not being where his people are. In fact, I don't know if you can hear him, but I can hear him. He's in the basement right now crying. Basically, if you shut a door on him, he gets upset about it. He usually gets over it after a few minutes though. But also, if there is a room that he really wants to be in and there's no people in it, he will stay in that room and cry until someone comes in and joins him. And he will calm down, but if you walk out of that room, he will start crying again. So anyway, I'm pretty sure he has separation anxiety. So I woke up that night hearing the scratching at the door, and I thought it was Toland. So I just ignored it, because in my mind, if it's Toland, he'll let it go. Well, it scratched for a little while and then stopped. And I'm like, okay, it was Toland. Nope, it started scratching again. So I'm like, what is going on? So I get up and I go, it's dark, by the way. I get up and I go open my bedroom door and I nudge the cat with my foot away from the door. Like, leave me alone, I'm sleeping. So it stops for a little while and I'm able to go back to bed. But about 15-20 minutes later, I am woken up again to the scratching at the door, and I get up again and I go and nudge the cat, and I do this about 3 times. The fourth time when I get up, I go and I actually pick up the cat and I carry the cat to the living room couch and I set them on the couch and I'm like, leave me alone. Well, when I do, I actually get a good look at the cat and it's not Toland, it's Nora. That's weird. Nora doesn't usually act like that. So why would she be clawing at the door? Well, while I'm trying to figure this out, I hear Toland crying in the basement, thinking he just wants me to come down there. And normally I would just ignore him, but because Nora was being so weird, I decided to go see what the problem was. So I go to walk downstairs and Nora jumps up and she leads me down there and she gets all the way down to the bottom step and she just stops. And that's when I noticed that it's kind of like shiny down there. The floor looks shiny, and I realized, oh no, the basement's flooded. So I go get some shoes on and I go to figure out where Toland's at. The poor kitty is stranded on the dryer in my laundry room down there. So he's pacing back and forth between my dryer and washing machine, meowing because he's afraid of the floor. It's wet. So I go over there and I pick him up to carry him across the floor to the steps, and when I do, he panics naturally and he claws the crap out of my hand. I actually have a couple little scratches that haven't completely healed, and like I said, this was a few weeks ago, so he got me really good, but the poor kitty survived the flood. But so that's that story. Toland survived the flood. I had to go save him. Nora helped. Dodger just slept through the whole thing. He didn't care. So actually, no, when I did get him, once I got him up, he kept wanting to go back down to eat, but he couldn't. So he refused for the rest of the day to go down to the basement. He would not touch the floor even once it was dry. Nora, she braced herself, like she put her front paws on the floor and got used to the water, and then she kind of tiptoed around through it and she was fine. Dodger, however, once he finally went down, he went, oh man, it's wet again, and he just went on with it. He's used to it. This was the first time the kittens got to see the wet basement, so poor kitties. Yes, I'm wearing a sweater now because my house has decided, well, hasn't decided anything. It can't decide whether it wants to be hot or cold in here, so I'm cold now, so I put on a sweater. But anyway, the second story that I have is that I have a kitchen sink, like most people, but occasionally, like most sinks, it will get a leak, right? And in my basement, for whatever reason, it might be related to this, I don't know, but in my basement, under where the pipes are for my kitchen, there's a slab of cement, like probably about this tall, like this tall I think, and it's probably about 3 foot by 3 foot across, right? And anyway, it's about that tall, and then it dips down. It's not like a ramp type thing. It just, I mean, there's a quick little ramp and then it's just flat across. Like there's no drain in the middle or anything. So that's why it's weird. But I think it's there because of the sink. I could be wrong. It just makes sense because anytime my sink has ever leaked, it has puddled onto that slab, and it hasn't ran anywhere because it's got a lip before it like shrinks down. So it's like something like that. Anyway, so I have had a few leaks because I had a pipe come loose once, and then one of the pipes had a hole rust through it. So, you know, I've had a few leaks. But anyway, something that I noticed recently is that there have been puddles forming down there. And I couldn't figure out where it was coming from, because I would go up and I would turn on my kitchen sink and I would try that. I would run it for a long time and no water would come up. And later it would dry. The next day there'd be water. Like I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, there's a leak that only happens sometimes. I don't understand. But anyway, so I found out yesterday what was happening. So I went downstairs because I have cats and I keep their litter boxes in the basement. Some of you might already know where this is going. I keep their litter boxes in the basement because litter boxes smell really, really bad, and if you put them in the basement, you don't have to worry about it. So I went downstairs because it was garbage night to clean out the litter boxes to take out the trash. And I go down there and I've picked up one of the 3 litter boxes because multiple cats, you have multiple litter boxes. I pick up one of the 3. The other 2 are still sitting there. My old cat, Dodger, comes up, doesn't even look at the 2 litter boxes that are sitting there, and he goes and he sits his little butt on that little ledge and he pees right where the water has been standing for the past few months. So I don't have a leak. I have a jerk of a cat. I don't know. I think, because I've seen him use the litter boxes, I think he's just prissy, and I think he thinks that I don't clean them enough, which could be true. I mean, I wouldn't say that I let them get really bad. I just, where I have 3, I don't clean them as often as I used to when I only had the 1 cat, so I only had the 1 litter box. Now that I have 3 litter boxes, I kind of let him go an extra day, and he doesn't seem to like that. So I think that's what it is. I think he's just mad that I don't clean the litter boxes quite as often as I used to, so he's just peeing on the floor. Speaking of which, culprit's in here. This old grump, this old one-eye grump. Say hi, Dodger. Say hi. Say, I'm up here. I also like, oh, that's another thing that this one does. Let me tell you that. Okay, he's on, I keep getting really dark every time I go that way, I'm sorry. But he is one that he is on arthritis medication. I put him on it because he got injured when he was about 4 years old. I don't know if he got hit by a car or what happened, but one day he just started limping, and we get him to the vet, and his entire back right kneecap is completely like busted. Like it feels nasty. And so I found like some joint pain medication on the shelf at PetSmart. So I bought some of that and I tried it, and he does feel a lot better when he has it. So that's why I assume it works, and the vet has never offered to prescribe anything else because he says as long as that seems to work, there's no need. It does make him feel better, and he has the past couple days been limping a little more, but that's because I've ran out and I had to, the store whenever I go, either they're sold out or they just don't have it, whatever it is. So it's become really hard to find that medication, so I've had to start ordering it online, and it was supposed to have arrived in my mailbox on Friday, and it's Monday and it hasn't yet. I don't know what's happened to it, but whatever. So he's not doing so great because he's been out. He took his last pill on Saturday, and so I've just been kind of leaving him alone. But anyway, because he has to take his medication, and my one cat, Nora, thinks she's hungry all the dang time, will steal his food that has his medication in it. So I put him in the bathroom that's in the basement, and I shut the door. Well, he started that if I leave him in there for even 30 seconds too long, he goes and he poops in the shower. It's a grown cat, and he's peeing next to the litter boxes, and he's pooping in the shower. He has an attitude problem, I think. So anyway, yesterday, after I saw that it was him that was peeing next to the litter boxes in that little spot, and it wasn't like a leak that I couldn't figure out, I came upstairs because I had a sandwich. I had a hamburger from McDonald's because I had bought 2 earlier, and I had already eaten the one and I wanted the other one. So I come upstairs and I go into my bedroom. I did something that I shouldn't have done. I left the sandwich sitting on the table in my bedroom, and I didn't shut the door. So I walk into my room to Nora. This is Nora. Say hi. Turn around. That's Nora. Yep. My little girl who thinks she's hungry all the time. And she does. She thinks she's hungry all the time. You would think we didn't feed her, but she's got food in her bowl downstairs. And she does eat it. And I don't know why I keep going dark. Because like the lighting in the room isn't changing. It just doesn't like when I stand in certain places, it seems. Oh well. Anyway, so I walk in the room and she's eating it. She's eating my sandwich. And I mean like, the burger patty is already gone and she started to eat the pickles. I am not happy. But that's just what she does. She tried to take a sandwich right out of my mouth one day. I don't know what it is. She's disgusting. Because if it's got food in it, or if it even resembles food, she will eat it. She doesn't care. I don't know where she puts it all. And it's like, I don't know how she ate the entire burger patty. Because she had eaten. I don't understand. Anyway, I noticed I didn't show you Toland for his story, but I'm not really sure. I think he's asleep. Last I saw him, he was sleeping on my bed, and I don't want to go wake him up because he's sweet. The only thing he's guilty of is scratching the heck out of my hand, and that's because he was scared of the water. Oh, another thing about Toland, he sneezes. He has a condition that causes him to have an upper respiratory infection 99% of the time. It's impossible to get rid of. He's just medicated forever. And anyway, so he can't breathe out of his right nostril because it clogs a lot. It's weird. It's only the right nostril. I've never seen his left one clog. But whatever. It clogs and he can't breathe out of it. And he'll come up and he'll cuddle up against you. Like, I've got to clean his nose every once in, like, a couple times a day. It's gross. But he'll come up and he wants to be on your face. Like, he thinks he has to be so close to you. He has to be on your face. And he will get all up in your business. And then he will sneeze. And it's not just like a little sneeze. No, it is wet. It is gooey. It is gross. And 9 times out of 10, the pressure from his sneeze makes him fart. And it is awful. I have a dog, by the way. If you've been here before, you know that, because she often gives herself baths while I'm recording, and it's inconvenient. But if you've ever smelled a dog fart, it is awful. Absolutely awful. It is room clearing awful. Toland is worse. But that's all he's guilty of. He doesn't do stuff to get himself in trouble. He just has a couple unfortunate things that he can't help. So, okay. This was that. This was what it's like living with cats in my house. I've got one that pees and poops in places he shouldn't. I've got one that steals food, and a sneezy farter that doesn't like water. Oh! Not only does he not like water, but he likes it when you shower. If you don't shut the door, he will break in and get up between the shower curtains. So like your plasticky curtain that's there for looks, and then your other curtain that's there for, well, the one curtain that's there for looks and the one curtain that's there to actually hold back water that kind of drapes over the side of your tub, if that's how you have it. That's how it is in our house. And he'll come in and he'll sit in between them, and he'll kind of like pull back the one that keeps the water out and just watch the water in the shower. And when you get out, he'll climb in and lick the tub. So he does and doesn't like water. He's confused. It's okay. So anyway, again, I'm actually gonna go this time. I will see you soon again, hopefully. I don't have schedules. I just show up sometimes. So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say what I always say, but I'm gonna add a thing. Click the like if you liked it. Comment if you feel like. Subscribe and click that little notification bell down there so you actually know when I post. And please share with your friends, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!